Welcome to Half the Battle, and welcome back, my friends, to the summer of vehicles and playsets. And I've got a real classic for you today.
So meet the Slugger. This vehicle was released in 1984 with all original parts. It's a big cannon mounted on an armored vehicle. I hate to make the same joke 2 weeks in a row, but is somebody compensating for something? Phallic imagery aside, I really do like the design of this thing. It's loosely based on actual military hardware, like the M107 or M1110 self-propelled guns. It's great how it's a real military-looking vehicle, all green with a camo pattern. The only mild criticism I have, and it is very mild, I assure you, is that maybe it's a bit too blocky. It kinda looks like a brick.
Detailing is pretty good.
There's the camo pattern, of course, though it's not on the bottom half of the vehicle. There's lots of molded panels, tech and stuff all over the thing, and even headlights. The bottom of the vehicle is a lot sparser, but there's still something there, which is more than you get on some other later vehicles.
As for playability,
well, the wheels move, of course, which I'd consider the bare minimum feature to have on a vehicle, and the gun moves about 45 degrees. There's room for one figure inside the Slugger with a movable hatch to let them in. And in case the enemies get close, it's got a machine gun mounted on top of the cockpit. Behind that there's an engine hatch that opens up for repairs and whatnot. It's also got a tow hook so it can lug around other equipment. Finally, there's a scoop on the back that extends downwards. It's to steady the Slugger when it fires so the kickback from the gun doesn't propel it backwards.
That really is a nice extra touch.
Overall, yeah, the Slugger is pretty damn cool, and I'm glad I finally have the original in my collection.
Oh yes, I said original because this mold was reused twice later on.
First, the Slugger was re-released in 1991 as a mail-away toy from Hasbro. Oh, it was available as a mail-away before, but this one was different as there was no camo pattern on it. I guess Hasbro was too cheap to put a paint job on there. Second, the mold was used one final time in 1997.
Yes, I know, that year.
But it's good! Most of the vehicles were good. Of course, it came with a crap gung-ho figure and not the original driver Thunder, who they put in the Mobat for some reason, but it's a great version. I really dig the desert colors here. They did something a bit different and it worked. Purely judging the vehicles, it's a close tie between the original and this one for what's my favorite. And those were the toys. All pretty damn good if you ask me.
And of course you're asking me, why else would you have clicked on this video?
Looking at the box art, there's something weird going on. The position of the gun and the driver are the opposite of what they're on the toy. Also, the cockpit is more to the back. This means the box art was probably based on a prototype drawing, not even a prototype toy, as the back of the box has the more correct version. Those photos often used prototypes, so you can sometimes see differences between them and the final product too. Another thing to note is that its full name is the Self-Propelled Cannon Slugger, though for some reason they changed it to Mobile Artillery Cannon for 1997.
Up to you what canon is canon as far as names go.
As far as other media go, well, the Slugger showed up quite a bit in the cartoon, usually as part of a big battle. It fired laser blasts, not artillery shells, because this was the G.I.Joe cartoon. It also fired apple swans, because again, this was the G.I.Joe cartoon. The Slugger barely showed up in the comic, so that's not worth talking about, but it did get an entry in the order of battle. The driver, Thunder, showed up a bit more.
But that's a tragic story for another day.
And that was the Slugger. It was pretty neat. Neat enough that I'm surprised it never got a re-release in modern lines. Well, unless you count 97 as modern, which I don't, I barely count 97 at all. Yeah, it is weird we never got a modern version. It seems to be well liked enough by G.I.Joe fans, so what gives?
Well, I'll see you next time, everybody, and hey, why not like, share, and subscribe if that's your thing?
Boom, boom!